Hello guys, and today I'm going to show you how I model this power bank using FreeCAD 1.01, the stable version. I start from the Project Workbench. I will create a new sketch on the top view. And I will create a round rectangle. Okay, now I set the distance between this line and this line. I will set it to 250. And the distance from this line to this line 200. Then we set the radius to 20. Select this point, and the center point. Hit S for symmetry constraint. Now I will create another sketch, and using that sketch to split the first sketch, I go to the rename base. I create another sketch on the top view. Create polyline. Something like this. Then I will reference this one, this arc. Okay. I will hit A, and then I will select in the line to add the horizontal constraint or vertical constraint automatically. Just click on the line and you will align it. Something like this. Next, I will create a construction line connect from this point to about here. This point to about here. Okay. Then I select in this line and hit G and N to turn that into construction geometry. Select this line and hit A to add the vertical constraint. This line and hit A. Okay. Now I will set the length of this line to 45. Something like this. And select this line, this line, this line, and this line. Hit E for equal. Okay, now I have 2 degrees of freedom, which is this point and then this point. Okay, you just make sure these shoe outside of the round rectangle. Now we'll rename this one cutter. Okay, now I will control select in the base first, the one that I want to keep, and the cutter later. And I go to the part, split, and then slide apart. Okay, now I have a folder, and inside here is 4 pieces. Slide 0. So this is the one that I want to keep, so I hit spacebar to hide it. Slide 1, this one is a line, so I will delete it later. Slide 2, this one I will hide this. So now I have slides 1 and slide 3. I control select slide 1 and slide 3, and I delete it. Now I will show the slide 0 and slide 2. The next step is I want to move the slide 2 up. So I go to the placement position, and I want to move it in the z-axis to 15. Okay, you can see now it's higher. The next step is I want to connect in between using the plane curve. To use the plane curve, I go to the surface workbench. I control selecting this edge first and this edge later, and I go to the plane curve. Now I click on the plane curve, and I need to turn that into a straight line first. So I zero out the start size and the end size. Now you can see this plane curve have the wrong position with this edge. So this edge is the first edge because I select this edge first. So that I will go to the first edge property, and inside here is the style parameter, and change that to 1. Okay. Next, I want to increase the style size to 1. Okay, 1 working good, and the end size to 1. Okay, 1 also okay. But I also want to have the continuity is Z1, so I set this one to Z1, and the end continuity to 1. Doing the same in here, control selecting this edge first and this edge later. Create a plane curve. Click on the plane curve and zero out the start size and the end size to turn that into a straight line. And we care about the end parameter. Click on the end parameter and change that to 1. Okay, and then I will set the start size to 1. 1 not good, so I go to -1. The end size, set that to 1. Also not good, so -1. And I also set the start continuity to 1 and end continuity to 1. All right. The next step is I want to create another rectangle on top, and also the same height with the slideshow. So I go to the Product Workbench and create a new sketch on the top view, but I offset this one up to 15. Create a round rectangle, and also set the distance between these two to 200, between these two 150, and the radius 30. Now we select this point, and the center point. Hit S for symmetry constraint. Now I can close. All right. Now in order to see things easier, I will show the point size bigger. So we'll control select the issue and the sketch 002. Go to the view and set the point size to 10. All right. So you can say in here, I have this arc and this arc have the same height. So I can use the rule surface to fill in between. Using the rule surface. And in here I have 1 point and I have this line. But in order to fill in between, I need to split this edge, this one, so that I will have a short edge over here. And then I will use the rule surface again to fill in between. Okay, so I will skip this this hole. I should come over here and connect between this arc and this arc, so that I will have another rule surface. And after I have this rule surface, I have enough edges to fill using the surface filling in the surface workbench to fill this hole. Okay, and up here I have this arc and this arc. I can also use in the rule surface in here. Doing the same down here, I split to have this edge, and I will fill the surface in here. And this one I will use the surface again. Okay. So in order to split this rectangle, I need to have two lines. I create a new sketch on the top view and offset this one up to 15. And I will reference this line. And then this line, you can see this line, so that I will have this point and this point. I will create a line to connect from this point to this point, and from this point to this point. Close. Now we'll control select in the sketch 002, the one I want to keep, and 003. Go to the plot, split, and then slide to compound. Now if I show the point size bigger, you can see now I have a point in here and another point in between here. In order to fill in between, I control select the issue, and you can go to the plot and create rule surface, or you can looking for this icon rule surface. Click on it, and you have a rule surface in here. But because I'm using the rule surface so many times, so I will create a shortcut for it. So in order to create a shortcut, I go to the tools, customize, go to the keyboard tab, type in here rule, click on the rule surface, and come over here for the new shortcut. And you can assign any key. So in this case, I will assign F key for that. Hit F, so you can assign a hotkey for you. And I click on assign. So now you can see the rule surface down here in the list. Then I close. Now every time I control select two edges and I hit F, I have a new rule surface. So I come over here and control select these two arcs, hit F. Now I can just simply very fast fill in the surface. Okay. Now I will fill the hole later. Go to the surface workbench. In the surface workbench, I go to the filling tool and select from this edge, and this edge, this edge, and this edge. This one is the last one. Now I want to add the tension over here with the rule surface. So I double click on the rule surface edge and I come to the face option and change that to face 1, which is this one, and the continuity to G1 continuity, accept. Alright, now we just add the tension in between. I double click on the rule surface over here and I go to the face and G1, accept. Alright, now I come over here and doing the same, create a filling tool, start from here. Double click on the rule surface edge, go to the face and G1 for that. Alright. The next step is I fill the surface up here. So you can use the filling tool again. Go to the filling tool and just select edges in sequence. So you can see now I have a new surface. But in case the surface doesn't work for you, let me hide the surface 002. In case the surface doesn't work, you can do something like this. You go into the plot workbench and go inside the rule surface and go inside the slide 001. And let's look in for the sketch 002, which is this one. Okay, the frame over here. And I click on the sketch 002, go to the extrude, and I want to extrude this one down, so I go to the -1 in the z-axis. Click OK. Now you can see I have a new extrude like this. Alright, now I click on the top surface, go to the drag workbench, and I go to drafting and face spider, or you can use the hotkey F and F. Now in the tree view, you should have the face spider over here. Now if I hide the extrude, you can see now I only have one face up here. Alright, So let me use the face spider in this case. Now, in order to connect all of these surfaces together, can come to the tree view, shift select all of these roof surface and the surface, and control select in the face spider. Let's go to the curves workbench. So in case you don't have the curves workbench, you can go to the tools and add-on manager, searching for the curves, click on the curves workbench and install the workbench. So now with all of these faces selected, go to parametric solid to create a new surface based on these surfaces. Let me come up here and hide all of these and shift select the plane curve and the slice and hide it. Okay, also I will chop this one down and hide the slice. But let me rename this one to base surface. Now I'm going to go to the product workbench. In the product workbench, I'm going to extrude this piece. And let's go to 4 and go to the z-axis, +1. Click on the create solid. Click OK. You can see now the extrusion working fine. But if I go inside the wireframe, you can say in between we have the extrusion just generate many faces in between. Later, if you want to export this to a different program for rendering, you have a shading problem. So instead of using the extrusion directly, let me go to the backlight again. So there are many ways for you to create solid based on this shape. So in this video, I'm going to show you 2 ways. So the first way is I'm going to go to the curves workbench. And all you need to do is control select faces one by one. Select faces outside one by one. So I will control selecting faces, all of the faces on top and all of the faces down the bottom. Okay. And all of the faces on the side. All right. So after you select all of the faces around the model, and make sure you are using the latest version of the curves workbench, all right? And you click on the parametric solid, and you should have a green solid in here. Let me hide the extrusion. So now you can see I have a new solid, a new green solid down here. So I will show you the second way. Let me hide the solid in here. And let me go up here and starting to select the roof surface. I shift select all of the roof surface and control selecting the surface 001 and the face spider. Let me show it for you to see. The original surface. So basically I will select 11 faces and I go to the product workbench and I go to extrude this one up to in the z-axis, +1, and I type in here 4, and click on Create Solid. Click OK. Alright, now I have 11 extrusions. I shift select all of these extrusion, and I go to the union. Now I have a single fusion, and make sure the fusion in the data, the refine option, you set it to true. Okay. And let me go to the wireframe. Now you can say we no longer have faces in between. We just have an open loop, as you can see. You can use the fusion or the solid up here is the same, but if you use the fusion, the way you control the thickness is just simply select all of these extrusion and go to the data and set the forward length, for example, to 12. You can see now it's thicker. Let me change this one back to 4. All right, something like this. Let me use the fusion now. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the fusion, and I'm going to bring the fusion up. So I go to the placement position. Let's bring this one up in the z-axis to 10. Okay. And let's click on the fusion and go to the mirror this one in the X and Y plane. All right, something like this. Now I'm going to create the geometry in the middle. I create a new sketch on the top view. And I will reference this arc, and this line. I view the section. I create a round rectangle. I selecting this arc and this arc, hit E for equal. Selecting this point and this point, hit C. This point and this point, hit C. Come up here, selecting this point and this point, hit V for vertical constraint. Now I can close. I click on the sketch 004, go to the extrude. Let's try a big number, 200, symmetric. Now I want to create a cutter in order to split the upper one and the lower one. I just want to keep the middle one. So let me go back and looking for. I go inside the extrusion 001 and I have the base surface in here. We already created in here. Let me show the base surface. All right, so this is my base surface. And let me using this, I click on the base surface and go to the z-axis. Also move this one up to 10. Okay, now I click on the base surface and I go to the mirror this one in the X and Y plane. Now down here I have the base surface and the base surface mirror. I shift select these two and I go to the plot compound and make compound. Now I have a new compound. I will rename this to cutter show. Okay. Now I control selecting the extrude 13 and the cutter show, and I go to plot, split, and then slide apart. Now let me hide I click on the upper one and hide, the lower one and hide. Now I just have the middle piece. All right. Next I want to create holes in here. I click on this surface, create a new sketch and plane face, and we create 4 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Select these 4. Hit E for equal. And I will set the diameter to 2 0.5, and I will create a line connect from here to here, from here to here, and from here to here. I select these 3 and hit G and N to turn that into construction, and select these 3 and hit E for equal, and set the length of this line to 4.5, and the distance from this point to the center line will be 45, something like this. Now we'll create 2 slots, something like this, and make sure these should have the vertical constraint on it. Selecting this arc and this arc, hit E for equal. Selecting this line and this line, hit E for equal. Hit S to activate the symmetry constraint, and selecting this point, and the center line. This point, and the center line. Okay. Now I will set the distance from here to here, 2.8. From here to here, 8.6. Okay, and the distance from this point to the center line will be 75. And the distance between this one and this one will be 12. Then I close. So I go inside the folder, click on the sketch 005, go to the extrude, let's try 10 and symmetric. Okay, now I can just select in this one and the extrusion, and I go to cut. Alright, so that's it for the tutorial. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.